Hello traders, welcome to another Trade Your Way video. Today I wanted to very quickly cover what we call Progress Tracker. It's aptly named because what we're looking to do is talk about what your worth is, how much are you worth an hour, and we want to be able to measure our productivity in terms of how much time we spend actually trading, and hopefully the information that you use that you take from this, you can use to actually track your time. So time tracking is essential. Whether you're a full-time trader or a part-time trader, making it part of your life and understanding your work-life balance, is important for anyone who does this as a job. Because when you work in a normal 9-to-5 job, for example, you know how much you're being paid per hour. You get your pay slip every month or every week or whatever, and you look at what you're worth. And so this is a good way to treat trading, and it is about treating your trading as a business. So this is a good way of enforcing that process, or that belief system that you need. Otherwise, all you're doing is swapping one role for another in a hope or belief that by doing this and being a trader, you're going to ultimately make more than by having a full-time job, which isn't the case. As you know, the stats speak for themselves. 90% plus, 99%, or whatever it is. It's a high percentage of traders don't make money from trading. We often talk about the 1% or the 5% that actually do and are consistent. And if you look at them and you follow them, you'll see that they do things like this all the time, because they want to know what their worth is. They want to know how productive they're being with their time, and they want to know how much they're making per hour. So this will help you. Hopefully the information that you collate here helps you take that information to the next level in terms of making your decision whether or not trading is for you, whether it's viable, whether you are actually making enough money. So if you're making £50 an hour or $50 an hour in your normal regular job, which is pretty decent, but then you are trading, you're only making say $10 an hour, then really it's perhaps not the right time for you to quit your day job to become a full-time trader. However, when it gets to the point where perhaps you're making $50 an hour from your day job and you're then earning $300 an hour from trading, then maybe that is the time to quit your day job and become a trader. And so stuff like this should help you keep an eye on progress, and that's why it's called a progress tracker. We want to measure profitability, our profitability and our productivity, how many hours we're spending to make the money that we want to make. That should be a life-changing amount of money. But also we want to understand that we don't want to be working all the hours in the day to make that money. And so trading, maybe the London session or the US session, should suffice. If you make your money during the London session, there's absolutely no reason why you should trade the US session as well. Or trying to wake up, in some cases, people that live in different parts of the world, they may only be awake for the US session, and so they may try and wake up at a ridiculous hour at 3 o'clock in the morning to trade the London session. Now, is that viable? Is that something that you want to do? Is that sustainable long term? So having stats and figures, because at the end of the day, that's how companies operate. They only care about the figures and the stats that you send your manager and the management team, and the senior management team and the bosses and the chairman and the board of directors. That's all they're interested in. Profit, how are they making their profit, etc., etc. And remember, time is the most valuable commodity, not money. So remember that, guys. Time. We're on this earth for a very short amount of time when you look at it from a bigger perspective, and that's what we're trying to encourage people to do. So people want a better quality of life, but not if you're going to have to graft and put in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours into this job just to generate a similar sort of income that you could get from just working at a 9-to-5. Obviously, that's not the case. So ideally, it's not going to be the case for you. But it's just to put highlight it, and make you aware that these are considerations that you need to take. And also, by doing something like this, what we're doing is we're drilling down into a little more detail to actually calculate exactly what our worth is per hour. This is the figure that we're interested in. So let me give you an idea. January. So if we are, for example, a funded trader, so I'll target funded traders, You know, you take one of these prop firm challenges and you've been given 100k to manage, and you make 10k in a month, then your net profit is 10k. Obviously, then after the split, so if they give you 70% and they keep 30, you'll have made 7k. So that's your net profit. Now, what we want to know is days traded. So we've traded 10 days and we've made, you know, 7k profit, net profit. We've spent 20 hours in total, so maybe 2 hours a day, which is pretty decent. And so when you divvy up the calculation, 7k divided by 20 hours, we work out what we're worth per hour, $350 for argument's sake. Now, additionally, you could add on, if you don't already have this in your trading plan, you could add these elements to it, which I've highlighted but haven't made a big song and dance about them because I have them in my trade journal already. But for those that want to encompass this sort of information and maybe bolt it on to your trade journal to make your trade journal a bigger picture, more wholesome, it's optional, you can do. So you can say, right, I made 500 pips, I took 100 trades, and my hit rate was 75%, so I won 75% of my trades, etc. Just to give you a bit of a perspective as to how productive you are. And then obviously you carry over that 7k, assuming you're compounding and you're not taking any money out. So then you've got 100k as your starting balance for February. You trade and you make ending balance is 120k, so you've made 13. They take their split, so you're left with 9.1k. This time you've traded for 15 days and you spent a total of 30 hours in a month trading, which 30 hours isn't too bad. That's really, really good, solid time management. That's like, you know, that's like an hour and a half a day, you know, Monday to Friday. It's not that much really at all, which is great work-life balance. And so it's putting a truer representation onto this in terms of you're earning $300, just over $300 an hour. That's solid because really you're earning great money and you're doing very little for it in terms of hours spent. Now, of course, I wanted to talk about productivity because I was speaking a lot to traders about this element and to this aspect, and really just thought let's put some clarity on it and highlight what it's all about and, you know, how it can help you. Because also then you can measure month on month. Were you more productive this month as opposed to last month? In terms of how many hours you spent, did you trade more, why? And you could drill down further into that and understand, right, okay, I had to do this month as opposed to last month, or I took some great trades and, you know, I didn't have to work so much for it. So really all this information could tell you a lot about how you're performing month on month, just as a snapshot, which is really, really good because I've been doing this for years. And basically if I scan the markets doing my weekly charting prep, I can do that in say 30 minutes. And that's because I've spent the last 15 years learning how to. And so, you know, having these little bits and pieces and you piece them all together and you pull it all together, you are in effect creating a business for yourself, and you're treating your trading as a business. So hopefully you found this useful and helpful. I'm just going to fill in these few details and then we can finish, but hopefully you found this video of use. If it is, by all means subscribe, let people know of the good work we're trying to do and get the work out there to, you know, get this information out to people. Hopefully it will help you. So here we had 7.6k net profit. These numbers are not accurate. This is just for illustration purposes only. I should just make that perfectly clear to you. But the idea is to do this with, I thought we'd use the example of having a FTMO account or some prop firm, so I thought maybe this would help you. So if we then have made 7.6k, we take off the 30% which is given to them, which is 2.28, so 7.6 minus 2.28 gives us about 532. So we would say round it up, or round it down rather, 5.3k. If we said we traded again, we traded for 10 days and the hours spent was only 20 days, then all we do is simple maths, breaking it down, and said, okay, 5.3 divided by 20 hours, and that gives us 265. Let me just check that again. So 5.3 divided by 20 hours equals $265 an hour. So we were worth that month $265 an hour, and we probably made 400 pips, and we took maybe only 100 trades, but we, you know, pretty decent trades. So our hit rate was maybe 90%. So hopefully you found this useful, and hopefully you guys will benefit from this. If you have any questions, please Telegram me. My username is at ALX_TYW. If you have any questions or need any help, please just get in touch. Thanks.